Alright, hey everyone. So, you may have noticed I have stream audio back. My new phone arrived. Man, so it's been an adventure. I think at the end of this stream I'll tell the story of my phone. But yeah, anyways, let's get cracking on the new event content. We'll do the normal cycle. We'll start off with our event suit. We'll make our way on over to the gacha. Then we'll check out the event blueprints, the Twitter videos, alterations, and then whatever's left over after that. We are also supposed to be getting 3.0 news, so yeah. You may notice that the top of my game screen goes a little higher than it used to. The new phone dimensions, much different. I actually need to do a bunch of adjustments for my landscape templates because of it, but yeah, it's a really nice phone. Anyways, let's get cracking. That was last week's. We want Jungle Coin and the Gundam ground type. Oh yeah, I got individual parts here. Untangle my cable. Cool. Okay. Yes, I am feeling tons better. Thanks for asking. I'm still not sure exactly what was wrong with me, but it was before anyone jumps up and says COVID. It wasn't COVID. I got tested, but I had some kind of weird like respiratory crap going on where I wasn't able to like take full breaths in. But that was the only problem. First thing I did was get tested for COVID. It wasn't COVID, so I have a feeling I caught some kind of really bad like summer cold or summer flu or something. Which just happened to share a lot of similarities with the worst part of COVID. Anyways, Gundam ground type, let's get this going. With power attribute, EX skill power boosted by 25%. Now personally, I really like this on a head. One, this is something you would typically see on a Sokai part, where the EX skill is on the head. So this is kind of like a budget Sokai trait for the head slot, which is really good, in my opinion. Also, power attribute. There's so many really good power-oriented builds and traits that there's no downside to this, really, other than the stats. But that's why you backslot it. Numerically, yeah, it's nothing amazing. It has pretty much the average shot attack of what we would expect from a welfare head. Melee wise, it's okay. It doesn't even break 800, but again, welfare. So numerically, I'd say it's actually average with the pre 2.7k creep we saw with some shot heads. Federation and 4 urban area. Still not a fan of the 4 tag series, but Federation, not a bad tertiary tag. I don't really have many complaints here. It's a solid welfare part. All right, torso, chest multi-launcher, B power. All right, so this seems to be a physical shot, B power, low cooldown. No complaints there. I do remember that not all B power EX skills or B plus are really good. It does depend on the EX skill, so it's not a one. Like 99% of them are good. It's just a few outliers that are causing a problem, right? So just be wary of that. But it should be fine. And numerically, we're looking at about 800 melee, 800 shot, maybe pushing up towards 9. Honestly, that's actually pretty good. Remember that the torso is typically very low numerically for offensive values. So seeing a welfare that almost breaks 1k on both is pretty good. That's typically what we'd see on mid-range-ish Sokai torsos. High ends going up to like 1600, the really good ones, like the top tier breaking 2k. So this almost doing 1k, it's like a Sokai light. And I'm very intrigued so far. The head had a trait that really screams Sokai. The torso has numbers that are really, really good as well. Yeah, and we are starting to see more general 4-star parts in the pool that are also hitting 1k, which is good and bad simultaneously. Good because it means people that are picking up the game new are able to more or less catch up numerically very quickly. but at the same time, it means power creep effect. We're gonna find ourselves gutting our old suits to make room for all these new ones. Okay. Nice. Again, torso, I don't really have any complaints about it, as long as that EX skill is good. When armor is 50% or... okay, so this is a flat damage reduction. Not really that great. Numerically... okay, so we hit about 2,800 melee attack and 900 shot, give or take. For welfare arms, that's pretty good. For arms overall, not that great. But, you know, in the scope of a welfare, it's actually pretty average here. Federation for forest, we got rid of the 4 urban, and now we have a 4 forest. I still feel the same about the 4 taglines. Alright, check out them legs. Beam Saber combo, B+. Now here's the problem, we have tons of Beam Saber melee non-cutscenes, and they just lock you into an animation where you become target practice. I always recommend against using these unless they have a very quick animation or they're like a one-hit kind of deal. Just because if you whiff it, you're in for a lot of hurt, or if you're fighting something that doesn't flinch when hit, you're going to get a lot of hurt. So, food for thought. Numerically, legs and backpack are also typically very low in the stat distribution pool. So seeing this push 900 melee and 900 shot, I'm actually quite impressed for a welfare. Nice. Okay, yeah, no problems here. Federation for desert. This has like all the 4 tags. I'm quite confused by that though. Oh, it's Sukiya. What's up, buddy? 180mm cannon, B+ power again. Alright, so see what I said before about B power skills? Yeah. Numerically, pretty much the same as the legs, all things considered. So, cool. Okay, gun. What are we looking at? When C power is under 500k, EX skill power boosted. Okay, now this has some very interesting uses. Battle circuit. We do have a limited amount of times we can bring parts through. So there are builds that use minimal parts. This would work very well in those comps because you're typically going to have less than 500k if you're running a non-full machine. Like if you're doing a shot build, right? You have the head, gun, arms, pilot kind of deal, right? Here's your gun, 25% EX skill power boost. Pretty good. Again, each to their own, you guys do you. I just think that's very convenient for that very one single specific scenario. Outside of that, though, I can't really see this being the case because 500k, that's like 2 parts. Ooh, yeah, 2 fully upgraded parts breaks that, so yeah. Very specific niche case for use. Alright, with power attribute, special shot crit rate. So special shot is only accessible to long shooters and mid shooters. Crit rate, I'm not the biggest fan of crit rate in this game. Unless you can push consistently like 100%. And even then, maybe there may be a better way to go about things. Relying on RNG for damage, kind of meh. Nothing amazing in the stat department. Yeah, I'm always really confused by that. Like, we have machines that welfares that have really interesting stats that rival like 4-star parts, and you look at the weapons and it's all just like launched here effectively. Like, what is this? The frames are growing but the weapons stay stagnant. While Federation shooting damage out. So it's another case of flat number boost. So far, we've had exactly 1 piece of content, one piece in a lot of content that actually needed flat damage boost. Nothing else has. Get it if you want. There's just nothing to really use it in. Federation for Forest, the numbers don't really, yeah. Oh, I can't wait to go to bed after this. When beam resistance is under 4k, shooting another flat damage reduction. Interesting missile launcher, not a great set of traits or stats. And the shield, what are we looking at here? Shield bash, C power. It does give you a melee attack boost though, so no, not with C power. Numerically, oh okay, it actually has some numbers behind it. We're looking at about 1,100 shot attack or so and about 400 melee. So welfare shield actually not terrible. So this dude's very interesting. It does have it has a relatively interesting skew of traits. It has a couple of interesting looking EX skills. I'd say it's actually pretty okay, all things considered. Yeah. What do we got here? Gundam type, mobile fighter, heavy armor, long range, and 4 tundra for the awakening stuff. I can definitely use some of them Gundam type ones. Definitely can. Okay. Let's go hit up the gacha now, take a look at our new suits and pilots, and we'll go from there. You know what, before I do, I'm just going to knee-jerk roll on this because I do want to get the multiplier up for this event. So, purple. Ugh, let that run for a couple of seconds there. It's nice not having to fiddle around a bunch with that third-party software and stuff anymore. That was always like a huge pain to have to deal with. So this new setup's really nice. I've had a Elgato HD 60S for like ever now. I've had it for like 3 years or so. I've never really been able to leverage it because my old phone didn't support HDMI out through its USB-C port, but my new phone does, so I just plug it in and I get my feed directly to the computer, audio and all. One downside though is that I'm not able to hear the audio as I'm playing because there's too much data being sent through my poor little Elgato. So if I try to buffer the audio back so I can hear it, it becomes very choppy and the video starts cutting out and lagging, which I think is a real shame because I do enjoy listening to certain music while playing. So yeah, the tech upgrades are always nice. It was a rather pricey one, but yeah. So anyways, well, I might as well tell you my story now while I'm doing this, then I'll get into the gacha review stuff. So at the beginning of June, I noticed my phone was overheating stupid fast. So I decided time for a new phone. I had been talking to my brother at the time and he was like, hey, new phone, look at the S21 Ultra. You know, me and my girlfriend have been looking at it. Looks like a really cool phone. I was all right, sure. Look at the specs. I'm like, yeah, sure. Sounds really good. So I order it. I get an email. You got to wait 4 to 5 weeks for it to show up. And I was like, all right, sure, whatever. 4 to 5 weeks. I can wait. You know, it's not like my phone's going to blow up in my face or anything, right? Anyways, so fast forward to last week, which was the 5-week kind of cutoff there, and I reached out to Samsung like, hey, what happened to my order? I just want to know because there's no updates or anything, right? It's like, what's going on? The rep's like, oh, there's no problem. You just be patient. You got to wait 4 to 5 weeks from when you ordered. Looking at your order, it should appear by the end of the week or beginning of next week. And I was like, all right, that's not a problem. I can wait. So fast forward to the Friday of that week. So yeah, last Friday. And I reach out to them again because I had received an email from them saying that my phone was now being made. And I also saw that there were still no updates on my phone. So I was like, what's going on? And the rep I got, he's like, oh yeah, so there was a bug and your order didn't get to the factory until this morning. So you have to wait 4 to 5 weeks from today. I'm just sitting there looking at this like, Are you for real right now? Like, are you like trying to rustle my jimmies or something, man? Because this is some next level crap you're spewing right now. Anyways, so after some back and forth, confirming what was going on and figuring everything out, he told me it would take 24 to 48 hours and I'd be reached out to by a rep regarding what's going on with my phone. Yeah, of course it's a bug, right? So Saturday rolls up and I still haven't heard anything back. There's no progress on my order or anything. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go on Amazon. I'm gonna order another phone. And if on Monday they tell me, oh yeah, not gonna, it ain't gonna fly. It's gonna take 4 to 5 weeks. We can't, speed it up. I'm just gonna cancel my order. I'll go with this other phone. Life's cool. So Sunday evening rolls around. The phone I had just bought the day before was already shipped out and on its way to me, which I found friggin' crazy efficient. And the other phone, there was still no news about it, the original one. And then come Monday morning, or Sunday night, so this was like really late, before I go to bed, I get a message from Samsung saying that my phone will be arriving the next day. And next morning I did get an email from Samsung saying my phone's on its way, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, well, shit, whatever, sure. Long and short, I got the phone I originally ordered, and I also got this other phone that I snap purchased on Amazon as a replacement. Me and my brother both bought the exact same phone model at the exact same time, like 4, 5, 6 years ago, something like that. He also needs a phone upgrade because his is having the same problems that mine are. Oh, there's my gold. Got a pair of legs. So what we ended up doing was I'm giving him the other phone and I'm keeping the one that I bought kind of on Snap Reflex because it fits my needs better for what it is. Because I do play a lot more games than my brother does. So the S21 Ultra with its like super high quality camera will work better for him because he loves taking photos and crap. I don't really care that much about photos or stuff, so I'll take them at like big special events and things, but I also don't need like a DSLR tier camera, So what I ended up getting was a ROG Phone 5 instead, because has a boatload of RAM and it's twice the storage that my old phone had and twice the RAM. And that's huge for me because if I brought my OnePlus up now to show you, it was at like 90% capacity with what I just had on there mobile game wise. So I needed the upgrade no matter what. And the phone's really nice, all things considered. So I got no complaints there. Yeah, as you can also see, it has that convenient cable on the side for this video out. Now, let us get cracking on the gacha suits here. But I only got one part though. I wish I'd gotten 2, but whatever. Looks like Bamco Spy isn't watching me to give me drop rate up today, Okay, so try Burning Gundam. Interesting that it only has 6 parts to it. While high mobility, melee power boost by 30%. Cool. Really easy to get high mobility and activate it. Melee boost. Who's gonna complain? Numerically. Okay. So. Okay. So you're looking at just under 3k shot attack. This is a melee head, so that's not gonna really be that big of a deal. Melee wise, a little interesting. We're looking at about 2150 or so melee attack on this, which is really good. Absolutely. I just find it a weird choice that they pumped most of its value into like the defensive end and then had the carryover handle it. Like, I guess that makes it better than some of its comparators where it's all in the offensive stat and not so much in the defensive end, so this can take a little bit more of a hit. I don't know. It seems just kind of to equal itself out with what it's competing against. Yeah. Close combat, high mobility, both of those are tertiary tags. No real complaints here. It's got the numbers for a Sokai. It has your standard Sokai buff on the head. It's got its tags. It's a shame that it doesn't have any like primary tags on there. But it's what it is, right? Infighter Job, EX skill power boosted. We have a ton of Infighter Job licensed pilots out there that they just kick ass. You have no problem getting this going. Numerically, ooh. Okay, so we're looking at like 2,600 or so melee attack on the body, which is rather extreme. Yeah, I guess it shouldn't be too surprising that a suit based off of the Burning Gundam, which is all martial arts and all that fun stuff, is really good and skewed towards melee to the extreme. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at the arms. Okay. So we have an EX skill, Hado Rapaku Ken. B+, alright. You get a token melee boost though. It's only 19%. It's not a cutscene, low cooldown. Cool. This will... I really do need to see the Twitter video for this. Its description says you slam your fist on the ground and launch a pillar of fire. I'm curious. Does this have a range? Does it pop up underneath them? Does it create like you punch it and then it creates like a pillar that like slices the ground towards them? Like, what does this do? I'm really interested to see because that will make a big difference on its actual viability here. Okay, numerically we're looking at about 5,600 melee attack. Yeah, no problems there, Chief. Okay, so our word tags here, we finally get pro tag. Nice, those arms look pretty good. Legs. Jigen How style Seiso Gary. B+D. You get another token melee attack boost at 19%. This is also a no cutscene. I'm gonna need to see this in action too. Not quite sure what to make of it. Numerically, we're looking at about 2,400 melee attack and about 950 or so shot attack. For a pair of legs, that's pretty good. Still has the pro tag. Nice. The backpack, Unwavering Spirit. So here's our cutscene with A power. You get a speed boost 20%, and your squad gets a melee attack boost of 39. Do remember, in terms of order, we have 59%, 54%, 49%, and then 39% for buffs. Now, the most common that we see as a Sokai level buff is 39%. It's very rare to see the pre-alteration go up to 49%, so I'm really interested to see where this goes, whether it goes to 49%, 54, or 59. We'll see. I'm also interested to see what this actually looks like, as it is a cutscene EX skill. Numerically for the backpack, we're looking at about 2,500 melee attack, no problems there, and about 900 shot attack. Again, for a melee-centric backpack, that's actually pretty good. Alright, yeah, no, the Burning Gundam is just an extreme foray into melee damage. It does have a slew of EX skills available. 2 of them are no cutscene physical melee, and then 1 of them is a cutscene. So, you know, it's kind of got everything kind of on lock there. Nice. Alright, let's take a look at the Gundam Justice Knight. Honestly, when I saw this, the name makes me think SD Gundam. So, anyways, let's take a look at what we get. Outfighter Job, initial EX skill charge boosted by 20%. Much like Infighter, we have a ton of very good Outfighters. No problem there. And the initial EX skill charge boost, it's good. Not amazing, but it's good. Close Combat Gundam type. So both of those are very workable tags, tertiaries, no problem there. Numerically, we're looking at about 1,800 melee attack, and we're looking at about 4,800. There we go. Still gotta get used to the new notifications on this. The other one I could swipe to the right. This one seems to be left. Maybe I didn't swipe right hard enough. Ah! Yeah. So no real complaints about the numbers here. It is boasting Sokai tier stats. I wish they were a little higher though in the shot department, but it is what it is. Okay, it's interesting seeing a suit that has so much like call outs to melee, you know, the outfighter job, close combat, but it has a lot of shot attack. Just interesting. Okay. CIWS. I don't even have to look at this to know it's crap. Yep, D power, goodbye. Close combat, Gundam type. Okay, workable. Numerically. Okay, it kind of suffers here. So you're looking at about 1700 or so melee attack. I'm just kind of spitballing off the top of my noggin here. Maybe a little more like 1800. No, 1900. Yeah, because 4 carryover. Yeah, 1900-ish melee attack. Okay. Shot attack, we're looking at about 2k. So that is a good amount of stats on this offensively. I just don't know how to feel about the EX skill. Now here's the thing, right? This may get boosted up to B power with alteration. And, you know, it's a physical shot, EX skill, magazine. Sounds pretty good. Just remember that CIWS, it even says, is close range. Meaning you are going to have to get up close and personal with this, even if it does get a power boost, which will really limit, you know, kind of its flexibility. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Arms. Well, close combat, EX skill power boosts by 30%. Well, the suit's primary tag is close combat, and close combat is extremely common. You should have no issue activating this and getting that EX skill power boost, which is pretty great. Numerically. All right, so we're looking at about 5300 melee attack, solid, and we're looking at about 2k shot attack. For a pair of arms, pretty damn good. Okay, no complaints about this. Again, it's nothing that makes my jaw drop and go, wow, this is amazing, but, you know, they're solid. Legs. Galatine Longsword, B+D. Lowers hit enemy Gunpla physical resist by 29%. Okay, so that can be useful. It truly depends on your kit, because you would need to have a lot of physical EX to really make use of this and really exploit it. Yeah. I'm just kind of concerned, because you pull out your sword, you charge, and cleave through enemies. If it locks you into a dashing animation that's not a cutscene, oh man, that's... You're probably going to eat something to the face mid-dash, let's be real. Numerically, what are we looking at here? Okay. So we're looking at about 2200 melee attack, which is pretty solid, and we're looking at about 1550 shot attack. For a pair of legs, I got nothing really to say here. That sounds pretty good. We do get a 4 computers as a secondary tag on this now, switching out what was there before. I'm not going to keep talking about the 4 line of tags, just I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. All right, what do we got here? Wow, that is a very interesting backpack. With speed attribute, melee power boosted by 30%. Okay, well that's a very easy trait to activate and actually get going, because, you know, speed attribute, super common, and you get a 30% melee power boost at max. Hell, man, like, take advantage of that. Man, I'm so looking forward to my haircut in a couple of weeks. I don't think you guys even understand. It's such a pain, because, oh yeah, so today's weather, we had 88% humidity. For those of you that don't live in an extremely humid climate, I got nothing but envy. It was miserable today. Anyways, back to this. Numerically, no complaints really. We're looking at about 2000 melee attack or so, and we're looking at about 1600 shot attack. Solid for a backpack. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Galatine Longsword. Okay, if we're going to be frank, that looks more like a toothpick that belongs to an SD knight than a longsword. Yeah, Anyways, with speed attribute, melee crit rate boosted by 30%. I already talked about crit. I'm not really feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Numerically, oh, this is going to break 10k. Yep, alright. Bog standard Sokai sword. Close combat for computers. Yeah, you know, it exists. Trait's not that great. Justice Thunder attack with the Rete Shot Lancer. Strike a pose as you give a shout and rush enemies straight in front of you. It sounds epic. The name of the weapon. And then it's like, I got D power. Bruh. You best get a good upgrade with alteration, man. Numerically, yeah, it's the same as the other weapon. Okay. Raite Shot Lancer ranged version. While Gundam type, job gauge increase boosts by 17%. I'm not really sure how to feel about that, all things considered. I don't like the job gauge personally, but I know a lot of people do, and they make great use of it. So this is definitely a personal flavor. I don't like it. I think this trait is completely a write-off, but each to their own. Numerically, that's an interesting amount of shot attack. That's what, 9,800 or something? Yeah, 9,800 shot attack. So that's going to be a little, like, just under the cap that we have available for shotguns by, or like shot weapons by very, very little. Negligible even. But the trait, you can do better, I think. Especially with close combat and Gundam type, you're better off looking for an actual weapon from like a shot machine to fill that slot instead of using this melee type thing. Yeah, well, Flamey, it wasn't that bad temperature wise. It was like 24 degrees Celsius and 27 degrees. Like it kind of jumped between there. The hardest part is just the humidity, because like I've been in Vegas, right? Vegas, like on a cool day, it's like 35 Celsius outside, which sounds terrible. But because there's almost no humidity in the air, it's just hot. It's not a big deal. But as soon as you add in humidity, it can be 15 degrees, but feel like a sweltering inferno outside, right? Like, I had a shower, right? I had my window open to kind of get some fresh air, and come back in after drying, throw on some clothes. 30 minutes later, I feel like I just stepped out of the shower. Everything is just sweaty and wet, and it's just disgusting. I hate humidity. Why do I live in this country? Okay, anyways. Back to what I was doing. Okay, round a shield. D power. Why? Alright, numerically, we're looking at about 2,200 melee attack, which is solid. 1,200 shot. Sure, for a shield, I got no complaints there. Alright, so this suit's a very interesting set of parts. It's kind of like a melee shot hybrid split with a good amount of defensive values in it, some okay EX skills and traits. It's like it doesn't know what it wants to be. Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna crack open the great Twitter video feeds and go from there, yeah? How's that sound? Bring up the Twitter videos. Oi. Oi, mate. Why are you not capturing? Okay, cool. Let's just trim that. Let's just trim that. Yeah! I keep having to do this every single time because I can't seem to just want to work at a box. Okay. So, what do we got? Do we not have... Okay, no, here we are. Okay. So, we'll take a look at Mr. Try Burning first. Oops, I can't full screen it here. Give me a second. I really need to get... you know what? Actually, let me just beat my own web browser this. Mute site. Problem solved. Look at me. Big brain here. Is that more or less? Yeah, okay, good. That's all visible. Okay. Let's take a look, team. What do we got? Try burning. Yeah, I'll do the pilots after this. I'm so curious about the suits. Okay, so it does do like a line of fire. That actually makes it really cool. Okay, that one's a rather long animation, but it looks pretty easy to connect with. And here's our cutscene. Wow. It reminds me a bit of the Tryon chest, where the cutscene just doesn't seem to end, you know? So what I gathered from that is the EX skill on the arms that creates the pillar of fire. Fine. No problems there. The one that's on the legs, I'm not the biggest fan of. Don't really like it. The cutscene looks just extra as all hell, clearly does the job. If you're going for flashy finishers, there you go. If you're going for time, no. Because it's the EX skill that just doesn't end, you know? Pretty cool though, all things considered. Alright, and let's take a look behind door number 2. Yeah. Whoa, buckaroo. Back up. Okay. So that is actually not too bad. So from what I can see here, you dash in a straight line, and if you happen to touch somebody, you just do the quick swipe. So it's a pseudo cutscene pretty much. Crap. What? Really? So you gave it this custom animation and everything, and it's just a cutscene dash with a stab at the end. You can just get interrupted out of that. What's the point? That's so mediocre. Oh, crap. At least it's fast, sure. It just feels like a huge waste. Like, there's so much potential in there. Man, like, clearly it works, but like, I almost feel dirty, you know? Anyways, we've seen those videos, kind of know what to expect now. Let's take a look at these pilots real quick, and then we'll go take a look at our alteration pool. Event blueprints, then alterations. Jenko. When in multi-mission, all power boosted. Well, there you go, guys. Be a 3-star pilot, too. I would honestly say that's actually extremely solid if you're someone that runs multi-missions often. Close combat, mass production. They're okay tertiary tags. Stats are nothing to write home about. Definitely for the trait. Definitely for the trait. And Travis Kirkland. We've been getting a lot of missing link recently, haven't you guys noticed? Alright, with power attribute, EX skill cooldown reduced by 20%. Oh, we've already talked about power, how easy it is to get. Here's some extra stuff for that. Federation for desert. Okay, numerically, interesting actually, 2400 melee and shot. That's pretty solid, actually. Yeah. Obviously not as good as build pilots numerically, but he's still pretty damn good. His trait is very easy to fit in. You know, power, you get it. And the word tags are a little meh, but at the same time, that's what subslotting's for. Cool. I actually do like that 4-star pilot quite a bit. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, let's go check out our event blueprints, see what is unlimited craft this week, as long as you farm the event. Whoa, a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so we have the Earth 3. I don't remember anything outstanding about that. We have the Gundam Technique. That's not the OG one, that's the new one, isn't it? And then Gundam G Lucifer. Now, I know that the G Lucifer is a mono eye, but I swear this is actually a really good suit, my mono eye bias aside. Lots of good EX skills in here, traits, the whole 9 yards. It's a shame about the funnels, but you know what, at the same time, it's just pretty great overall. Yeah. Because I wish those were actual funnels instead of a cutscene, but you do what you can, right? Anyways, yeah, the G Lucifer. It's pretty good. I would recommend getting all of it. Okay. And, ooh, we get the Slash Zaku Phantom and Xant back. That's quite cool. Alright. There's really nothing amazing about the Slash Zaku Phantom that I can recall other than its appearance. It actually looks extremely cool, but again, mono eye. And Xant, if you're into Gundam Seed, you might want to pick up a copy of them just for the sake of it. So, alright. Anyways, with that done, let's go take a look at our alterations. I've seen people in the chat going, check out the perm section, check out the perm section. So I guess I will not check out the perm section. And there's nothing you can do about it. Okay. Okay. I see the CeraV in here, and I don't recall seeing the CeraV in here before. I don't remember what's new and what's not new in here. Oh no. So it's just the 2 new suits, alright. Well, let's hit that permanent button, see what's up. Oh hey, Tall Geese and Gundam Dynames. Alright, we'll start with these and then we'll pop on over to the new gacha suits. Okay. So, Tall Geese, Endless Waltz. Now, before I really get cracking into this, just so everyone that may potentially be new, I doubt it though, my audience is pretty much cemented at this point for this kind of content. So, when I do the reviews regarding alterations, or rather first impressions regarding alterations, I purely look at the trait or the EX skill. When it comes to alterations, it can be more or less safely assumed that all stats will get a blanket boost, so there's no point really looking at them. There are very few fringe cases where this is not correct, and you can get this information through GNL, asking other players, just reading the information yourself before you do it. Reading. So I just look at the one thing that gets the biggest overhaul, which is the EX skill or trait. That's pretty much how this goes. So let's get this cracking because there's a lot to look at. Okay, when armor is 40% or more, EX skill damage output boosts by a flat number. Trash. With speed attribute, enemy shooting power reduced by 30%. That will only affect the suit that this part is on, not your entire squad. Keep that in mind when doing this. At least it's a high number. It's okay. I'm not the biggest fan of either of those. Infighter Job, EX skill, another flat number reduction. Good lord. Arm parts, EX skill power boosted. There are a ton of really good EX skills packed into arms in this game, so that's a good second trait. The first trait, kind of a write-off, but it comes by default, so you gotta suffer. Arms. This is the Dober. Oh yeah, the Dober. Yeah, so this is pretty much an instantaneous beam, point A to point B. You pretty much like push the button and it takes all of like half a second for you to point your gun and just shoot a beam. Yeah, it does it. Beautiful. I like it because I can use it to just kind of, you know, delete things I don't like. Even better now it's boosted. All right, legs. Infighter Job, EX, and another flat reduction. Man, this guy really got the short end of the stick. With long rifle category equipped, EX skill power boosted. So long rifle refers to sniper rifle classed weapons, not beam rifles. So there are a good amount of those in the game. A lot of them are Sokai and very, very powerful. And you get an EX skill power boost for this. It's a real shame about the first trait, but that seems to be a going theme with this suit, so suffer. Check the stats of the arms, they're crazy. Well, of course they're crazy, Alex. It's an integrated part. You have the arm and the shield. We already know that those get stupid numbers. I could go show you the arms my Kshatriya has. Those numbers are ridiculous. That's because it's an integrated part. Yeah, old suit syndrome. No pants. Look, if I tell you I'm wearing shorts, I'm wearing shorts, okay? It's fucking humid as heck, man. Give me a break. 50% chance to prevent vernier consumption when stepping. So I still contest that there's no need for vernier consumption related stuff because you really shouldn't be burning through all of your vernier, but I play mostly shot, not melee machines, so I'm only so, understanding of the usages of this, I guess. The first trait, however, with speed attribute, buff EX skill time up 22%. Frankly, when you have your buffs going, you shouldn't need to refresh them or have them time out. You should be able to kill whatever you're fighting super quick. The few times I can see this being useful is during a multi-mission where it's a big boss, lots of HP, or maybe arena where, you don't have the ability to instantly kill what you're fighting. But frankly, I don't think this is very useful, either of these traits. All right, and the Dober gun detached. Beam ranged weapon magazine boosted, so that only affects the ranged weapon slot. It doesn't affect magazines or anything like that. With speed attribute self, special shot crit rate boosted. I've already talked about crit rate. Neither of those traits are really good. Like numerically, it's not bad. It is just shy of the 11k maximum that we have for shot. Like it's okay, but it's kind of a write-off in a lot of aspects. Ugh. Okay, so let us look at the Gundam Dynamies. Yeah, boy. Swamp ass, yeah. Man, I took 2 showers today, and I'm already sweating again. It is so bad. Like, you guys don't even understand. Okay, not true. There are some people that suffer this, like, on the daily, and I got nothing but mad respect that you haven't just, like, jumped into the nearest river to end everything, because, oh my god, if this was every day, I would... Alright, so Archer stance, Gamma. 49% boost. There you go. 3rd highest available buff in the game. And this isn't even a Sokai part. I can go to the 4-star exchange ticket right now, pick up this part, get it to gold, alterate it. 49% boost right then and there. Okay, but you gotta EX. Anyways, very accessible, very powerful. Yeah. And it's a squad buff too. So you don't even have to put it on your main suit. You can put it on another suit. Come on. That shit's dope. Alright, torso. Hey, I said torso. Alright, cool. Long shooter job, shooting power boosted by 30%. Very easy to fill that check mark. While long range, 14% chance to survive a fatal blow. So that second trait is not terribly useful. Long range only activates a couple of really good traits, so it's not really a common tertiary tag to see. You can get it pretty easily with the amount of parts we have available to us now, but I don't think a 14% chance at guts is really worth it. You diggy? You feeling me, guys? You feeling me? The first trait's pretty dope, but considering you don't need to do any real investment to get that other than duplicates, it's a standard part though, so it's free more or less to do that. It's not really a big deal. Yeah, so just in case you don't know, regarding buff stacking, awakenings are their own thing. Awakenings will override awakenings, but they're their own tier, their own separate category of buff. Then you have your Alpha, Beta, and Gamma buffs. Those are their own stack as well, and they like overwriting each other. Gamma will overwrite Gamma, Beta overwrite Beta, Alpha overwrite blah, 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 and so on and so forth. And then you have the buffs that you get from cutscenes, which are their own separate. So you have like 3 different buff types pretty much, and they like overwriting each other, but independent of each other. So it's like you got your Awakenings, then you have your Alpha, Beta, Gamma, which are their own separate kind of trees there, and then you have the stuff you get from cutscenes and all that fun stuff. It's quite interesting. Yeah. Lock-on had about a 14% chance to avoid a fatal blow. Well, like, simultaneously, he kind of fucked that up. Alright, long shooter job, shot guidance boosted. So, in the first video I did for Gunpla Warfare, where I kind of talked about the game in general and some of its mechanics, I did actually have a small clip showing shot guidance. So when you fire a weapon at somebody, shot guidance is how much homing it gets on them. It's like a smart homing. So if I fire a beam rifle shot at somebody and they move to the side, how much distance will my beam travel to the left or right to home in on them? In real life, this obviously wouldn't happen because beams don't curve, and I don't care that there are Gundams that can do that. That's just not how it works. It's not how it works. It looks cool. Looks hella cool. Not how it works. So 17% shot guidance, not really that big of a deal, but you get enough of it. Got home in bullets. Not useful. Beam ranged weapon reload speed boosted by 25%. Okay. Like, these are both worthless. That's all I gotta say about these. They're completely fucking worthless. Alright, you know what I'm actually gonna do here real quick? Because my screen has so much extra real estate that I'm not using right now. You will trim that down. And then, because I can now actually have higher quality video with my capture card. So my preview is wonky, so I can't tell the actual quality of it, but it should be still more or less the same quality as it was before. Let me just kind of expand it a little further down there as well. There it is. There. Okay. Cool. Looks more or less centered. No, that's not centered. Hold on. There it is. Cool. Wow, the power of lines. All right. So back to what we were doing. Right, not looking at the arms because they're shit. Legs. GN mishap. Okay, so very quick story time. When this game launched and the Dynamis came out and I got the legs for it, I loved these missiles to death. Because the way that the game worked, we didn't have this ridiculous HP multiplier in Arena. Right now, I think it's about 3x multiplier. So when a match started and you had the warning show up, you know, like the enemy approaching or whatever, and then the enemy dropped down, that was enough time for these legs to come off of cooldown. I literally just pressed one button, a bunch of missiles go flying forward, hit the other guy, dead, done. That was the fight. It was great. And it stopped working after a while because, you know, the game updated. All right. So, B plus power, A pierce, low cooldown, no real complaints there. Backpack, Trans Am, shot attack 39%, beam resist 49%, and speed 20%. Again, this is not a Sokai part, but it has some crazy numbers on it. A 39% shot attack buff doesn't sound great when you think about Sokai, but you can just go to the shop in exchange for this. But Sokai, you gotta either spend money on a ticket to exchange directly for the part, Or you roll it during a Sokai banner or a bullseye or something. So, thinking about that, we haven't had like a really good bullseye in a while. I think they got wise and stopped doing them because they realized people weren't rolling on the Sokais because they would just, I'll just wait a few months, roll on the, the bullseye, save like 40,000 Taro. And the GN Sniper, beam ranged weapon reload speed boosted. Nope. With technique attribute EX skill power boost. Okay, that second trait's actually pretty friggin' solid. Technique, really easy to activate, and get EX skill power boost. Nice. Okay. Well, overall, for those two suits, pretty good. They definitely saw some improvements. Pretty okay tier. Now, let's look at Justice Knight. I don't really know what to expect from this thing's alteration. Come on. There we go. Outfighter job, yeah. While close combat, melee power boost by 35%. Okay. If you're running an outfighter job, chances are you're going to have close combat. Chances. It used to be a no-brainer, but with the way that, because we had that word tag rebalance a while back where mobile fighter became the second top tier melee tag. So you want mobile fighter, pro tag, and then your tertiary tag. Close combat, still used, but it's kind of fallen out of being the most common damn thing in the world. Very easy to get though, mind you, because of all the parts that have it available. So no complaints. Solid second trait. Torso. Alright, what's your CIWS get upgraded to? B. Alright, so do remember, even though this is a B power 11-shot torso magazine skill, it suffers from the fact that CIWS is shit and has short range. Please keep that in mind before you start wailing or something for this part. It's not worth it. Arms. Weapon reload speed down by 10%, EX skill power boosted by 35%. I would say that's actually a very good trade-off. Yeah, shit. If you have close combat, man, you get a 30% EX skill power boost. Now, from my understanding of weapon reload speed, this actually will only affect your ranged weapon slot, which feeds really well into this arm's MO of boosting close combat, because you're not going to have that on a shot machine. This is pretty useful. Pretty useful. Length. The Galatine Longsword. Yeah. So this is the one that's like a pseudo cutscene where you dash at them, and if you touch something, you do the swing. Problem is, because it's not an actual cutscene rush, you'll get overridden by somebody else doing one of those. Simultaneously, because it's not one, you're going to be very easy to stagger out of this rush. Food for thought. Risky. A- power, so at least it'll hurt, but with speed attribute, melee power boosted by 30%, and close range weapons EX skill power boosted. Close range weapon refers to your melee weapon slot. So if you have a melee weapon that has an EX skill, bada boom. All right, let's look at our spear. Outfighter job, melee power boost by 35%. So this is a very interesting thing where the second trait actually makes the first one look a lot more endearing. So with an Outfighter, you get a 35% melee power boost at max trait level, and if your suit is also speed, you get a 30% crit rate. Now, individually, that crit rate, not really amazing, but because Outfighter job requires you really abusing melee, and you get a melee power boost, and you get a crit rate boost as well, it really synergizes well and makes that first trait that's not amazing, okay. Again, not great, but okay. All right, let's take a look at our lance. B+ power, yeah. This is another one of the cases, pretty much like what I was talking about the longsword, where it's not a cutscene dash, but it pretends it is. So it's going to be pretty easy to knock you out of it if you're running at somebody. So just something to keep in mind. Kind of a risky venture, you know. What about you? With speed attribute, EX skill power boosted. Okay, very easy to activate speed attribute, and you get yourself an EX skill power boost. Sweet, I'm in. First trait, still not the best thing in the world, but you know what? It's okay. Yep. Alright, so shield throw, B plus power, A pierce. So here's the thing, okay? It's another yeet skill. Absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and debate that. It's clearly a friggin' yeet. Problem is, it's a Sokai part. It's going to be very difficult to get this up to its maximum EX level. Even without that, it'll still do damage. It'll still hurt. However, there is much more available options to give you yeet skills that don't require you to roll on Sokai. We do have the hanger available, meaning you are able to slowly increase the EX skill level of these kind of parts without having to roll dupes. But just keep in mind that yeet is very common, and maybe rolling Sokai just for it's not the best idea in the world. All I'm trying to say. Might as well get the Gaia shield. Yeah, pretty much. But that's going to become unavailable again soon until it comes back into rotation. But there are a lot of available yeet skills, so it's not really going to be that difficult, you know? Okay. Now, let's take a look at our Try Burning. When attacking with physical, melee power boosts by 35%. Oh, look at that. That is synergy. Beautiful, beautiful synergy. I have no complaints about this upgrade. Torso. Yeah, thinking about the hanger, just let me double check my Discord real quick because I was talking to some people about it. Let's see here. Where did I threw it in here. Yeah. So as of the 12th of this month, so 2 days ago, my new Xeon sword, the Axis drop, finally got to EX10. It has been in the primary slot, so the free slot that everyone gets for the hanger since the feature released. That should give you an idea of how long it takes for an EX skill to get from fresh out of the gacha to EX10, from the time it launched until 2 days ago. Do with that information what you will. Okay. Torso, back parts EX skill power boosted. Again, this is amazing synergy with the first trait, and we have a ton of really powerful EX skills on back parts, even for melee. No complaints. This another amazing second trait. Arms. Yeah. So this is the one that creates a line of fire from the ground towards whatever your target is up to a certain distance. Really cool looking. You do get A- power on it. Now do keep in mind this does have a little bit of an animation time to it. It's not a yeet or anything like that. It's you punch the ground, takes a couple of seconds, and then the fire starts exploding towards them. So you do leave yourself open. But it is still in some fashion a ranged melee that you can use if someone's approaching you. Remember, we're mostly fighting against AIs. They're really easy to exploit. So this doesn't require you to get right up in their face, but still the downside of it takes a little bit to kind of get going, and it is a closer range skill. Get a melee boost out of it though, and it is A- powers. Legs. Yeah, the one I didn't really like because this puts you into a rather long animation where if you whiff one part of it, you're probably going to whiff the rest of it. And honestly, it just, I don't know. I personally don't like it, but at the same time, I can see its appeal to some people. You do you, but not for me. I don't think it's a very good use of upgrading. It's a solid power boost and everything, but... And the Unwavering Spirit cutscene S power. Melee attack boost to 49%. That's kind of what we expected. Yep. It's a solid upgrade. Kind of a standard upgrade we'd expect from Sokai, actually. Okay. Nice. Okay. So let me check here real quick. Did they ever drop that? Yes, they did. Okay. So let's take a quick look at the 3.0 upcoming maintenance information. So, they don't have a date yet. Now, before we go any further, typically, just for anyone that's relatively new to this, Whenever there's a big update, a version change update, mind you, 1.0 to 2.0 and so on, they typically do it at a Sokai. So, based on that information, I'm going to put out a very educated guess. We're going to see this update approximately 2 weeks from now. Look at me, guys, using the noggin. So we'll probably get the announcement that the 27th is going to be maintenance hour, which also means that my stream is also going to be delayed and rolled over into the Wednesday. So just keep that in mind. I'll keep you guys updated though. I will join my Discord for that information because I post there very often whenever something comes up in my videos, more so than I do the YouTube community channel because I don't really get a lot of interaction on there and I also forget quite often. Probably shouldn't admit that, but here we are. Okay, so the update details for this app name change. So for those of you that weren't aware, the North American and Asia region versions of this game is called what is it exactly? It's Gundam Battle Gunpla Warfare is the full official title of the game, GBGW. In Japan, it's Gundam Breaker Mobile. Now, what they're doing is, and that's the Japanese version of the game, right? So it has two names depending on the region you're in. So what they're doing is they're unifying it. Our version of the game, North America and Asia, will be changed to Gundam Breaker Mobile. So the game will be named the same in all regions. I think this is a long time coming, frankly. This should have been done a long time ago. Yeah, there was some speculation on Reddit and some other places that they did this to separate themselves from that Gundam Breaker release on Steam. I don't think Gundam Breaker was very well known in the West outside of like the circles that play a lot like Super Robot Wars, right? Like it's a niche thing. So trying to offer it under something that already exists might have been a better idea than a franchise that's not really well known, right? But who actually knows besides Bandai? We all know they ain't gonna tell us what's up. Okay. Yeah, and only the app name changes as well as the like banner anything that says Gundam Battle Gunpla Warfare, like the title screen, will probably get a logo update too. But you don't have to worry about your data being lost, so they say. However, I will recommend that you still make sure your account has a bind code. Just for your own sake, please. Have a bind code. Okay. Mission creation. We all knew about this. We do get some limited control over the environment, what spawns, and all that fun stuff. Now, they still haven't really given us a lot of information as to the full control we have over this. Like, do we just get to pick a map? And what spawns? Like, do I get to pick the parts? Do I get to modify the stats? Do I get to pick if they're big or small? Like, how much control do I really have over this? Do I get to change the layout of the map? We don't know. I'm looking forward to finding out. We'll see when we get there. Yeah, creator bonus. So if you make a mission and a lot of people like it and play it, you get bonuses for it. Daily play bonus, just doing a creative mission, so a mission that someone creates. You get plugins, which you use to augment your created maps. We've already talked about all that before. Yeah. Ooh, operator base. That's new. You can get an operator boost via Form Squad. By choosing attributes and word tags and setting an operator and 25 parts according to conditions, all Gunpla in your squad with matching attributes and word tags get operator boost to increase melee shot, melee defense. Oh, wow. That's pretty damn cool sounding. All right. Damn. Alright, yeah. So you get a button in combat, and the longer you hold on to it, the greater the effects, and it's based off of your assessment points. That seems to determine how quickly it gets a boost in its power. So the better you do in combat, the faster it goes up and the stronger it is. Wow. That's really neat. Alright, switching between operating your ally Gun... Slow down. Yo. You will be able to switch between operating your Gunpla and ally Gunpla in the squad that you have built in single player missions. Finally. Dude. Took them forever to do this, but yes. Fuck yeah. Yeah! I didn't think it'd take them so long to add it, but here we are. Awesome. Yeah, so you can pretty much control ally Gunpla EX skills, limit bursts, all that. They're adding a new hybrid control method. I'm interested to see what they do with that. Oh, man. Yeah. Game over rules change to when you and your ally Gunpla are all destroyed instead of your suit blows up, game over. I like that a lot, frankly. That's amazing. Yeah, Snow, I did actually want this feature. So, okay. Sometimes when I play missions or stuff, I like changing the suit that I'm in. Like, sometimes I'll feel like playing a shot machine, sometimes I'll feel like playing a melee machine, sometimes I feel like playing a really specific machine or something. And I like having them all in a single group. You know, I can just quickly change who's in slot 1 to control. But now with this, I can just use the same party and just press a button and change in between them mid-battle. It's also really useful for strategic stuff. If I ever decide to do any kind, like, if they... Actually, with this, they could actually add a multiplayer unit Inferno mission and make it really friggin' difficult, knowing that players have 3 suits they can control instead of just the 1 now. I'm excited. Things they can do. Alright, so we get Chapter 16, Free Mission 16. Ooh, Battle Circuit. Alright. Yeah, so now they're increasing how many times parts can be used. Yep, we already talked about this before. Oh yeah, we can also equip gear during battle circuits. It also gets a limited amount of usage. Daily mission changes. Yeah, we already know about all this. Oh, armor penalty. Wait, are they just removing cost altogether? Yes, no more cost limits. I can just do what I want. Yes. All right, I love it. Dope. And you can trade in any cost gear that you have for parameter stuff. All right. You'll be able to use parts that are in other builds and custom skin. All right, sweet. All right, our little ring menus getting alteration, crew, growth hanger, achievements, gift box, parts, items. Awesome. Loading, yeah, the loading time is a big one. I don't know if you guys are affected by this, but when you try to, or when you boot the game up and it's like touch to start, it can take a really long time to load everything and get in. That getting boosted, lovely. All right, 250 becomes the new cap. Yep. All right, and then a bunch of little bug fixes and stuff. Yeah, cool. There's so much stuff. 6-star parts exchange ticket. Hold on a sec. Is that in my gift box? Can I just pick a 6-star part? Is this real life? That'd be nice. There's some parts I do want. Jungle coin. We got some Haro. Claim all. Let's go. Easiest way to tell because they'll filter out all the capital crap. Nope. Not yet. Big sad. Big sad. It's in an event banner. Yeah, I figured. Hey, a man can hope that it's free, you know? Alright. Well, with that, guys, it looks like we're done. We've talked about all the new content, gone over it, and looks like we are good to go. So, yeah. There's a lot of stuff. Well, I'm looking forward to next week, seeing what banners pop up. It's going to be standard. Keep that in mind, guys. Anyways, I'll wrap up here. I got to crash because Fate Grand Order is doing its Lost Belt 2 stream in like 6 hours, and I want to be awake for that, so got to crawl into bed now. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys in a week. Peace out.